Okay, so this is a shockingly heavy hoop setting tool. It's something I had to bring into Woodcraft. At this point in time, early 2024, it's like 1850, which is quite a bit less expensive than even Amazon, which I found surprising because it's coming from, I think, in Woodcraft in both places. Um, so nobody's sponsoring this. This is me spending my money, and I'll tell you why. Um, this is it almost getting dumped out. I guess I need to tear the bag. Um, so this it's really heavy. Um, you're gonna have to use this to set the hoops, as the name might imply. Wood River. That's the house brand for Woodcraft. Um, it's about a, what is that? About a quarter of an inch, 5/16 thick there. That's where you mallet, and then there's a conical design to it, and the idea is you can put in a small hoop farther in, a medium hoop probably about there, and a larger hoop closer to the outside, or the maximum diameter, I guess, of this cone. The reason I got it is another Woodcraft product. I bought the 10-piece set. My local Woodcraft was under construction, and they did a we're under construction sale, and so I bought the 10-piece set. I just love using Japanese chisels, and some of these were, yeah, like this one. This one is, it's wiggling, and so the hoop setting tool, you'll hear it. It's metal on metal. What you'll do is you'll set this edge into a block, and then you'll strike that with a hammer just to jam that down a little further. And then you're supposed to mushroom this out, soak it in water, and hammer it down. Apparently I didn't mushroom it enough, because the wood fibers will bend over and hold that hoop in place. So I'm going to kind of do this as necessary. If the recommendation was, I actually turned a wooden version of this on my lathe to set the tools the way they're set. You'll see that some of the finish is missing. That's where I had to cut back the lacquer or whatever's on there. But what I saw, I think, doing some research on these, they said if you have one or two chisels, don't bother trying to figure out how to do it. I mean, you could actually take a piece of wood, drill a hole in it where the wood will pass through, and then put a block on top to hammer down the blade, and then maybe jam the hoop in position. So, I mean, you can get it done without spending any money for something like this. But I saw somewhere where somebody said, if you've got a bunch of Japanese chisels, just get the hoop setting tool. It's just so much faster. It's designed specifically for this task, and I have a bunch of them. So I am going to move the camera, and I'll show you how I use the hoop tool out of the package, I guess. Okay, it's been a while since I used these chisels, and what I forgot is that these rings, they're actually tapered. They're angled, so they sit on either this way, or in this case, I might have gone. They might be shaped. This one might be shaped this way, which is bad. It's supposed to go the other direction because the wood is angled, and I might have just tapped it on and going the wrong direction. And just put a dig in my moccasin vise. Just put a dig in the wood too. Yeah, I think I definitely did this backwards, and if you're going to do this, hit it, turn it, and then hit it some more. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get more serious about taking this ring off. Okay, this is a jaw horse. This is a folding, clamping thingamajig. There's a pedal down here that you kick. You hear that pop, and then the whole thing slides loose. And then it has a big urethane pad here on either side. There's actually a groove in the pad for holding cylindrical things, round things. All right, I'm just going to make sure that I don't grab the blade because that's sharp. You push down on the pedal after locking this part. And then, with the tools I got sitting around here, I'm going to try and tap that ring off. You could do this with a vise if you carve some grooves into the pad. Whoops. I will mention that there's something about the Japanese philosophy, and I could be very wrong here, but the idea is that you can work on the hoops as part of bonding with your tool. And so setting the hoops is part of the Japanese chisel experience. When I was setting the hoops, I actually chipped a blade, and rather than having a chisel set that's in perfect working condition, it helped remind me that at least my approach is to have tools for making things, that I'm not just a collector. All right, one ring to bind them all, just flew away. So as you can see, there's a cut here, and so I will find that ring, and then we will get that thing turned around, and you'll see the difference. All right, well, that was fun. Okay, while this is just clamped in there and sitting there, all right, so this does not go on very well this way, but it slips right on that way, so you can see the difference. And that is, again, because this ring, it tapers this way and that way. The whole thing is like, it's a, I want to say funnel, but it's a cone shape inside here. You can't see it, but it's thinner here than it is there. You might be able to actually see that up close. So you can see how big the shiny spot is there, and it's maybe less so here. So, you know, that goes on comfortably. That doesn't want to go at all. And so I was tapping it on, and I was kind of wondering why it was going so slowly, but then I forgot that you actually have to make sure you get the ring aimed the right direction. So let that be a warning to people that are wondering what is happening with my tool. That is the Japanese chisel way, apparently. So I'm going to put my backer board in here again, which is the front of my Moxon vise to be made. And then, I don't know if you can see it, I'm going to just tilt this up. All right, so I'm going to put my block here, so that'll keep it from cutting everything in half. And then now that you know what's going on, I will put that conical hoop setter on there, and then I'll just it doesn't chip my blade. That looks okay. Okay, so now that is a beautifully set ring. That is quite a bit down. You want about 1/8 of an inch or so. And so that did a much better job than I got out of my homemade wooden hoop setters. So that will be really nice, because that's going to speed up a lot of time, and it's going to help me properly set those other chisels. So yeah, I believe that is money well spent right there.